Christian men, the entire future of our church, and maybe even our world depends on you. So, what are you going to do about it? Hey, everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name's Andy Bacoris, co founder of Carry Your Cross. Today, we are going to dive into a super interesting study done in the 90s in Switzerland, looking at the church attendance of fathers and mothers and how that affected their family in the future. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time at our YouTube channel and you're not yet subscribed, definitely click the big red button, click the bell. You will get our future videos. We're going to be posting a ton of great stuff in 2021. Way more content than we've ever posted on YouTube. It's coming. We're committing to it. We want to make an impact on YouTube in 2021, and we hope to have you here with us. If you've come over from our Instagram channel at Carry Your Cross, thank you for being here. If you haven't checked that out, our Instagram channel, we do a lot of our apparel drops over there. We do a lot of inspirational, motivational, daily content. Would love to have you over there. And if you haven't checked out our website, you can check out a lot of our apparel there and blogs. You can check out carryyourcross.com. Would love to have you there as well. Let's get into it. There was a study done in the 1990s in Switzerland that looked at the church attendance of fathers and mothers, over 7 million people, and looked at how a parent's church attendance directly affected the future church attendance and faith of the children themselves. And the results are just insanely stunning. First off, I got to give a shout out to the guys over at Exodus 90. The reason why I found out about this study was through them in a recent newsletter that they sent out. And I saw it and I was shocked about the results, and I just had to share it with you. If you've heard of it before, I'm sure you know it's an amazing study, but I'm sure many of you have not heard of it. And so today we're going to go through an article that talks about the study, that goes through some of the mind-blowing results. And I think as men, we can look at this and really understand the impact, and not just the impact, but the duty that we have in our families, our friends, to stand up and to lead. And that the church is in a man crisis today, and there's never been a greater time for men like us to stand up and to lead the church back to where it needs to be and to save the church at the end of the day. So let's get into this awesome study. A Swiss study shows fathers are important to a child's church attendance. This was done in 1994 by Swiss researchers. And the study, entitled "The Demographic Characteristics of the Linguistic and Religious Groups in Switzerland," super shocked that I said that correctly, it's a tongue twister, looked at the full spectrum of Switzerland's religious breakdown. Switzerland's population is just over 7 million. 46 consider themselves Catholic, 40% Protestant, 9% no religion, and 5% other. Now let's check out what the study found. So not surprisingly, families where neither parent attended church, only 4% of those kids in the future ended up attending regularly to church. 15% were classified as irregular attendees, and over 80% didn't attend at all. So not surprising. There are the few that either get brought to the faith through their own experiences, through mentors, through other family members, but around 80% of people do not attend at all if their parents don't attend growing up, which makes sense. The numbers improved when the mother attended church regularly and the father not at all. In these families, 2% of the children went on to attend services regularly. 37%, big jump there, attended irregularly, maybe Easter, Christmas, and 61% still not at all. But it showed that the mother, who obviously we know, especially as Catholics, have such a major role in the lives of the children, had a positive influence on the future church attendance by her children. But this is where we get into some crazy stats here, and as we look into the father's impact, and it might shock you what you see here. The studies show that the biggest influence on a child's future church attendance, either regularly or irregularly, was the father's church attendance. Not surprisingly, the level of the father's faithfulness in church attendance was also a reason. So, really the reasons of why they were going and if they were going for the right reasons. There was a dramatic increase in regular church attendance when both mom and dad attended regularly. In these families, 33% of their children attend regularly, 41% irregularly, and 26% did not attend at all. When the dad was an irregular attendee and the mother regular, 3% of the children were regular church attendees, 59% irregular, and 38% did not attend at all. However, and this is where we get into some of the crazy stats, one of the most stunning statistics showed up when the father was more faithful in the church attendance than the mother. So you have a dad, he goes to church all the time. The mother, maybe she's an irregular churchgoer. In homes where the father was a regular church attendee and the mother irregular, 38% of the children went on to regularly attend church. 44% attended irregularly, and 18% did not attend at all. Incredibly, a child's future church attendance was best in the families where the fathers attended church more than the mothers. Wow. Even when the father attended church irregularly and the mother didn't go at all, the mother doesn't go to church at all, the father goes once in a while, 25% of the children went on to attend regularly, 23% irregularly, and 52% not at all. So the mother doesn't go at all, and the father goes once in a while. 25% of those kids went on to attend regularly in the future. And that's, if we look at that based on the previous stat that we saw in terms of if the mother attended church regularly and the father not at all, 2% of their children went on to attend services regularly. 37% attended irregularly and 61% not at all. The father is having a major, major impact on the faithfulness and really the spiritual life of the kids. This is pretty amazing, especially when you look at when the father did not attend regularly. And the father didn't, and the mother didn't attend at all, that the father being there still was having this major impact on the kids. And so the author in this blog post said something that I totally agree with. And she said, it's hard to understand why this is the case, but when you see a lot of, even when couples are going to church, the father and the mother are going to church, a lot of time you see that the father is just going because the wife is kind of just dragging him along, and she wants to have, a family unit at the at church. But the kids can pick up on that. I remember as a kid seeing different dads, so you knew like they just didn't really believe it, but they just did it because the mother was going, and they just were dragged to mass or church, and they didn't really want to be there. Now that definitely differs when both parents are going and they're faithfully going. They want to be there, and they're not just living out their faith life in church, but outside of church as well. Then the kids are benefiting from that, from both parents, which is so important. And there's one last quote in this article that I want to cover that I think is super interesting and really an amazing quote. And it says, Kathy Woodward in her article, Father Knows Best, summed it up this way. The leadership of the man within a family is like the law of gravity. You can try to wish it away, you can argue it's unfair, but walk off the edge of a building and you'll plummet. Likewise, with fatherhood, try to ignore it and your civilization collapses. Guys, we know there's a crisis in the church. We know that, I grew up and see most of the women kind of helping run the church themselves, and God bless them, they're the ones standing up to do it. But we need more men leaders standing up and leading our church especially the laity. I'm really talking about the laity here, to stand up, to lead our families, to lead the young ones, because we can see statistically the impact that has. Now, that's not to say at all that a mother's impact is any less, because especially us as Catholics understand that. But looking at the father and their spiritual example and how they lead, playing such a massive effect on the youth. If you're a father, that being your kids, and if you're not a father, I'm not a father myself, just the young people around us, little cousins, friends, people that just look up to you, like that type of effect that you can have on them, and not just them, but the future of our church and really of our world, it's a big responsibility. And I think that we need to look deeper into that and really understand the impact that we have on the youth around us, and how we can use that to not just change the faith life in the future, and even the future of one soul, but of the entire world.